I'm Jacy from Craft Life, and I'm here today to teach you how to make a Rainbow Loom 3D mini candy corn charm on your Rainbow Loom. But if you do not want to use a Rainbow Loom and you want to use a monster tail, I have a video for it, and I'll put a link in the description box below if you would like to check it out. But the supplies you'll need to make this are a Rainbow Loom hook or crochet hook, rubber bands, and since we are making a candy corn, I'm pretty sure you want to use the colors white, orange, and yellow. You will also need scissors and something to stuff your candy corn with. Today I'm using polyfill, but if you don't have polyfill, you can use whatever you want to use to stuff yours. So please get your supplies and we'll begin. To begin, we are going to leave our Rainbow Loom set up in its staggered position like this, and we're going to start by making the bottom part of our candy corn, or the yellow part. And we're going to be using these 8 pegs here to make it. And on both ends, we are going to make double X's. So I'm going to take a rubber band, twist it on my finger once so that I have 2 loops. And then I'm going to make an X from this peg, hold it, and twist it to this peg. And push that down. Now we're going to make another X from here to here, and remember, these X's are doubled. So twist it around your finger, make an X, and push it down. Now our next X is just going to be a regular one. We do not need to twist this rubber band around our finger. We can just leave it. And then this X is going to be doubled. So twist it around your finger. And make an X. And you might want to stretch these out before you lay them, so twist it around your finger one more time and make an X and push it down. So now we have 3 big X's. This X is doubled, this X is just normal, and this X is doubled. And now we're going to close up these 2 holes by just laying 1 rubber band for an X on those pegs, like that. Now we're going to begin our rows, and we're going to turn our loom so that all of the arrows are pointing towards us, and we're just going to lay our rubber bands in a counterclockwise rotation. Now we have a bottom row and a top row, and you do not know how many you have to bring over. It's not very easy to count, so what you're going to do is just make sure that you have 2 rubber bands at the top. And if you have a doubled X like on the ends, you're going to stick your finger inside of your project and then pull these over like that. And then on these 4 pegs, you have to be very careful because all of the rubber bands there are very tight. And you're just going to stick your hook in downward, press from the inside, and pull this over. So make sure there are 2 at the top and bring the rest over for all of these. Then you're just going to push this down, and we're going to lay another row. And trust me, this row is going to be much easier. Now we have a bottom row and a top row, and we're just going to bring our bottom 2 loops over the top on all of our pegs. Now we're going to push this down. And we've just done 2 rows of our candy corn together, so we just made it up all the way to the end of the yellow part. And now you're going to do 2 more rows of orange, then you're going to do 2 more rows of white. So you're going to do 4 more rows in total. 2 are orange and 2 are white. And you're just going to do the same thing that we've been doing for our other 2 rows. And we're just going to lay our rubber bands in a counterclockwise rotation. Then bring your bottom 2 loops over the top on all of your pegs and just go down each side and push them down as you go. So remember, it is 2 more rows of orange and 2 more rows of white, and I'll be right back. I just finished my 4 more rows. 2 of them were orange and 2 of them were white, and as you can see, it's kind of coming out of the bottom, but not yet. But now we are ready to hook this off, and so before we do this, we need to start on this peg and take the top loop and switch it to the bottom, and take the bottom loop and switch it to the top. So I'm going to take the top loop and put it on my finger, and I'm going to take the bottom loop and put it on my hook. I'm going to put the loop that is on my finger down first, and then I'm going to put the loop that is on my hook down next. So now we're going to start on this peg, stick your hook in, and grab the bottom loop, bring it to the peg next to it, and you know it's your bottom loop when it hooks the loop behind it. So now I'm going to grab my bottom loop, bring it to the peg in front of it. I know it's my bottom loop because it hooks the 2 loops behind it, like it did here. And now you're just going to go around doing this. So bring your bottom loop over the top and onto the peg in front of it, and check as you go. So now we are going to be hooking backwards, and this may sound tricky, but it isn't. And we're just going to pull back the 2 top rubber bands so that only the bottom remains. We're going to take the bottom and just bring it to the peg behind it like that. So take the top 2, stretch them out so that the bottom only remains, grab the bottom, and bring it to the peg behind it. So just continue to do that for this last peg here. And now on your last peg, you're going to stick your hook in, grab a rubber band, pull it up through, place it back on, and pull 1 loop through the other. Now we are going to make a chain to sew this up, and this is a double chain, and it is 8 loops long. And so it takes 16 rubber bands. So to make this, you're going to take 2 rubber bands, place them on your hook, grab 2 more, place them at the top of your hook, pull these 2 through, place it back on, and pull these 2 loops through the other 2 loops, and pull that all tight there. Now we're going to grab 2 more, place them on your hook, pull this through, slide this up, place it back on, and pull these 2 loops through the other 2 loops. So we have just done 3 together, and you want to have 8 loops in total for your chain. So please do your chain. And since you don't have it done yet, so please pause the video and make your chain and press play when you are ready. So now that we have our chain ready to sew up our candy corn, we're going to start on the peg here that we ended with, the peg that has the slip knot on it, and we're going to stick our hook in. And if you're having trouble with this and you have a rainbow loom, you can just pop out this row here, but I'm going to show you how to do it without popping out that row. So I'm just going to stick these 2 loops onto my hook through the side here. I'm going to pull them up through until the second loop on the end here. And now for the rest of them, this gets kind of tricky. You're going to stick your hook up, and see how my hook is kind of diagonal here. It goes between these 2 pegs. And now I'm going to pull this chain down. Make sure you're only pulling the chain down. And you can pop these off once you have them on your chain. Now I'm going to do this one. Stick your hook up, pull this through, we can do this side, and it is much more easy. And you're just going to stick your hook up and pull your chain down. Now you can just pull it out of your rainbow loom. Now we're going to stuff our candy corn, and please put a lot at the bottom and not so much at the top because you want it to look like a triangle. So for your stuffing, you don't need to put a lot in, so don't overstuff it. And you're just going to put it in. Now, once you think you have enough, you're just going to pull your 2 chains at the top, like that, and now we're going to tie them together. So now we're going to take our scissors and we're going to cut right above where the 2 rubber bands meet here, and right above where the 2 rubber bands meet there. So now we are going to tuck these inside of our candy corn, and I'm just going to stick mine up on the side because if you stick it at the top there, it will show a lot and there will be a big bump at the top, and you don't want that. So I'm sticking mine off to the side a little, and I'm just going to place these 2 rubber bands on my hook, and then I'm going to pull these down and then stretch it out, and you won't see it anymore. Now I'm going to do the same thing for these 2 loops. I'm going to stick my hook up where they are, place them on my hook, and pull them down through. And then you're just going to pull that out and stretch it out so you won't see it anymore. So now we're just going to squeeze this a little bit. I'm just going to push these back in because they came out a little bit. And I'm just going to shape it at the top how I want it. So I want it like that. And with this extra loop at the top here, I'm going to stick my hook right through the center where I want it, like that. And then I'm going to pull this loop through. So I'm going to pull this through. It may take a few tries. And then you're going to finally pull this through. And then I'm going to stick it in this side and pull it through this way. Now all you have to do is shape it, and if you want, you can leave this loop here at the top. And you want to shape it like that. And I'm going to leave my loop at the top there. If you want, you can move it all the way over to the center. And so now you can attach it to anything you want and you're done. This is what they look like when they're done, and you can use these as a charm and put them on anything you want. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give it a big thumbs up. And if you make some, I'd love to see them. My Instagram is CraftLifeUSA, so please tag me in a photo. And don't forget to like us on Facebook, pin it on Pinterest, and subscribe right here on YouTube. I hope you're living a craft life just like me. Thanks for watching.